They're going to destroy the public school system by obviously defunding the public school system. And then the rise in like charter and private schools, because you have states like Ohio that are giving out vouchers to families to send their kids to private schools. And then also Ohio, especially in Dayton County, is the same county where now they're taking away the public buses from the public students and using those same public buses to transport kids to the private schools. And the reason why they're doing this is because if you take away access of you being able to get to the public school, that's another way that we also cut access and defund public school systems. And then we offer you this voucher for this religious private school or this religious charter schools, because a lot of charter schools are owned by religious organizations. You see what I'm saying? And then PragerU, who's aligning with places like Ohio and Texas and Tennessee and a few other states, and PragerU is a conservative educational alt-right indoctrination pipeline for your kids, all right, with cartoons, literally, and Florida as well, literally telling your kids that slavery wasn't that bad, literally telling your kids that like indigenous people were also being mean, so that's kind of why we had to be mean back. That is how they force the indoctrination of alt-right ideology onto your kids, because there's no public schools, because we defunded all of them. And now your option is either you homeschool your kid, but you can't homeschool your kid because we made it impossible for you to, because who's going to pay the bills? Because everything's so fucking expensive, so you got to go to work. So you're forced to put your child into those schools, because if the child isn't home, it's illegal to leave your kid at home unattended. You see what I'm saying? You don't have a choice. And so therefore, that is how they indoctrinate the next generation of kids into being little magna pundits. I don't know. And then I just want to talk about this other TikTok I saw from this other lady who was talking about how she sees the end of like public school system as we know it. And then she also talked about like how she sees it being more like AI module led. And I agree with her as someone who works in education. I agree with her because we already know that the kids use the tablets. The schools give them the tablets and things of that nature. And they're using the tablets more and more and more and more. And so pretty soon, you won't necessarily, and I feel like this will happen in states that can keep their public school systems open for a little bit. And they'll have teachers there, but your job won't necessarily be to teach in the same way that it was before. It's mainly to walk around and make sure they're actually doing the assignments. And if they do have questions, you know what I mean, then you can help them or whatever. But mainly, essentially what a lot of teachers complain that parents want from them, which is just to babysit their kids, not actually teach their kids. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what it's going to become.